Hey, this is Kelsey with XYL. I first just want to say thank you for hosting in 2025 and just believing in our mission of challenging women of all ages outside of their comfort zone. We were able to serve over 400 plus athletes because of you all. Had events in all different types of cities, from strength events to events hosted by Navy SEALs to hiking the second highest mountain in certain states. So none of that's possible without you guys believing in the mission and being a part of this. And I'm really excited to share with you all some innovations that we're making for 2026 and just the level of intention that we're bringing. Just a quick little recap about our events. Obviously, you know the strength event. We've done push-pulls, all women's SBDs, squat, bench, and deadlifts. We've also this year expanded to endurance events. So we had a hybrid competition where we had a High Rocks PFT along with the lifting. We also had a 5K. And then we've also hosted cold plunge breathwork events and then outdoors with regards to military style, along with some mountain hiking events. So our big goal is to grow in community and to really grow alongside of the gyms that have been there with us from the beginning. So a few of the innovations or problems that we saw in 2025, and I took a lot of time to think through this, is first, my main goal is to increase profitability for you guys. I want this, yes, to be an impactful event and inspiring your community, but I also want this to be a revenue driver for you. So that was a big focus for me in coming up with a new model. Secondly, is incorporating a charitable component for all the local events and communities. We have a campaign called the For the One campaign. And what For the One means actually comes from a Bible verse where it's talking about for the lost sheep, for the one that is lost, that needs a hand extended back. And so we incorporate this some in this 2025 in a few events, but this is where I want to make For the One in every single event across the country, where that gym host or community can find a local charity that aligns with our mission of empowering women, of building confidence in girls and women, and you all get to partner with and be a part and contribute to that charity and have the athletes feel a part of it, have the spectators feel a part of it. So we do want to incorporate a charitable component and have everybody feel like it's for something bigger. Yes, you're lifting a weight. Yes, you're breaking a belief, but I also think it's incredibly important to be in it for something bigger than just that as well. Thirdly is we want to support our volunteers and spectators better alongside the gym hosts. So we want to take more things off your plate and allow it to even be a smoother experience for everybody. Thirdly is we want to grow with community at the center. Little planting a seed is we're really working on an ambassador program in all the different cities that we're in. So it's not just putting all the load on you, but somebody that believes in the mission and can really do a lot of the legwork too there. But we're really focusing on growing with community at the center and increasing attendance, getting overall numbers up for you all to bring in more spectators, bring in more athletes to your facility, and then just continue to innovate and bring the next level events together. I always say 2025 is our year where we've been doing this for a couple of years, but we really tested some new things out. And 2026 is making it lock and key and really innovating for every single one of you. So to give you some new insights on how we're doing that. So from an increased profitability, previously it was only the gym hosts would get the door money. Some gyms even partnered with a charity and then they donated that money, so it wasn't profitable at all. So what we're doing instead is we're splitting it up to multiple revenue streams for you. So first of all is now you do get an athlete registration split. So it's 70-30, 70% us, 30% you for every single athlete registration. That's number one. Number two, from a sponsorship, you are no longer required to get a $500 sponsorship. It's just if you're able to, and if you're able to secure them, it's a 30-70 sponsorship split. So what that means is 30% us, 70% you all if you bring the sponsors in as a thank you for doing the legwork and bringing those local communities in. And then lastly, it's a 90-10 merchandise split. If we sell XYL merch at your event, we do want to allow a kickback on your end as a thank you. And then obviously we've had this before. You can sell any merchandise, any memberships that is going to serve you in your gym best. You can also have that there. So we innovated with athlete registration split, a sponsorship split, and a merchandise split. And we've always allowed any gyms to put their merch out, but also really encouraging that. That's number one. Number 2 is incorporating a charitable component to local communities. So like I said, we really want to make For the One be a part of everything and all that we do. And so what we're switching this, which is also spurred inspiration for the revenue split, is now the door money. So any people that come in to spectate, that is 100% going to that charity. So for example, here in Columbus, we partnered with a local charity that helps previous women that were sex trafficked. Now we can partner with them, they can come to the event, but also any door money, any person that comes through and wants to spectate, they know that their money is going to that charity. What this does is allow you as the gym host to make more revenue than just the door money, and then also allow the charity to have 100% benefit from the spectators coming in. So that is from incorporating a charity component. And like we said, we let you decide what charity. We want to just okay it to make sure it aligns with our mission and our vision. But other than that, you can choose whatever charity that you want to be a part of and go for that. Thirdly, from support of volunteers and spectators better is we are going to put on our end equipping your venue with specific chairs at that event. I know some people can put benches out and boxes out, but then it can get a little bit too big for that. So we want to make sure that your venue looks great. We're going to really increase the signage and just branding of each local event, but we're going to put on our end, and then we're also going to equip the volunteers with food. I know some snacks can be given, but we want to make sure that they are, and you all are, really taken care of. So we're going to put that on our end. Additionally, grow with community at the center is if you are local in a specific 6-hour radius to Ohio, we are going to do our absolute best in having a team member come out to be a part of that event that day. This does look different than in the past because obviously we haven't been able to come out to other events, but especially in the spring before we then bring on an ambassador that can really eat, sleep, and breathe what the mission is, we want to make sure that we're supporting you as best as we can. So that is that. From an increased attendance standpoint, we are really focusing our spring events on our satellite events. Last year, what we did is we did kind of everything at once, which really decreased our capability in helping the event host as much as we could. So we're focusing all of our satellite events in the springtime, and then we're doing our big national event, our Women Expanding Limits one, which I'm focusing on that being like the women's version of the Arnold. That's our fall. So because of that, we're going to put a lot more manpower behind reaching out, talking to different gyms, talking to different athletes. Obviously, we still would recommend and encourage you to reach out to local athletes because you know them best, but that is the legwork that we're going to do on our end. And we are going to make a special XYL event commercial or like short video for each of our event locations. It's going to welcome people in that community to the event, explain what the event is, explain why we do what we do. And so you can send this video out really easily. You can show this to people at your event if you do classes or work one-on-one. It is going to allow me to communicate it a lot easier than you try to communicate it, and just be a really good video for you to share with your community. From growing community at the center, like I said, that, and then innovating and bringing next level events together. So what we also are changing is first time event hosts, which are not you, is they are only allowed to run this strength event. The reason being is because that's our flagship, that's our bread and butter. But our goal also is to challenge different limits. And so I've had a few gyms being like, man, Kelsey, it'd be really cool to do a running event or a High Rocks PFT. And we have ran those before and we have the systems for them. So after you host your first event, you unlock access to potentially adding an additional event either that same day, or if you would rather do a running event or rather do a PFT, we can also do that. We've seen a lot higher numbers get brought in by a 5K and a lifting, or a High Rocks and a lifting. So that is of access. Do you have to do that? No, but you do unlock access to be able to do different events. And then also is, like I said, we want an ascension model for the athletes and for also our gyms. So in the springtime is specifically dedicated to our local and satellite events. And then our fall time is our big national event where gyms and people can qualify for that national event, or you can bring your community. Let's say you're in Tennessee or somewhere where you have the ability to travel. You can bring your community to come compete at that national event, which is big, and it just gets exciting every single year more. So those are some of the details of what we are improving for 2026 for you all. Alongside of that is we are working on a whole new system from event communication and prepping up for it to way better host portal, just things that are going to make it easy for you, but then also really equip you better in the process of the event. Okay, and a few different options from a division standpoint is this upcoming year is we are switching all of our events to age division. So previously was experience, now we're switching everybody to age divisions. The reason being it is very quantifiable how old you are and a lot easier to judge for the athlete. So that is our base division that we are going with in 2026. And then we do have optional add-ons. Like I said, this is not for a first gym host, but if you are more experienced and you want to add other divisions on, the possibility of a pro division. So this is weight classes. We actually tested and did this in our Columbus event, which did really well for those next level athletes that really want to see where they're at in their weight class. So that's pro division. Also an adaptive division. We also tested this in Columbus with women that were wheelchair bound, lower extremity impaired, vision impaired, hearing impaired. And it achieves the goal of really getting all different types of women a part of this. And like I said, our local specific events are spring, gearing up to that big national event that we're just continuing to improve every single year. So those are inability to add those other divisions on if you want to include them. But our main thing is our age divisions. So I won't go through all this detail, you're to know it. The only other thing that is detailed with the revenue model is we are doing differently, which y'all get a bonus with this, is we are requiring a host fee. Normally it's $700 or $750, and that covers all the volunteer shirts, awards, branding, back-end software, event day materials, all the calls and access to basically equipping them for that day. But because you are OGs, because you have been with us, and I really value your input and just being with us since the beginning, is we're taking $250 off and we are grandfathering you in forever. So if, for example, in 3 years we serve 15,000 athletes and it's a couple grand to have an event, we're keeping you at $500 forever as a thank you for that. And like I said, that basically allows us to do a revenue split and it being a lot more beneficial for you all, and equips you guys on being able just to make it a more successful event, look better, feel better, all of the above. So like I said, $500 forever, not $750. We're taking $250 off as a thank you there. And then that revenue split, like I said, is 70-30 athlete registration. We are having a minimum athlete of 20 athletes, because we definitely want to level up the experience for all of our gym hosts and the athlete piece of it. So with that, you basically are able to profit upwards of $1,200 plus depending on the full, if you max out with the roster and all of that, and then the 30-70 sponsorship split on your end, and then a 90-10 merch split is what we chatted through before. From a charity standpoint, is 100% door fees. We recommend between $8 to $12. Usually 10 is a really good number to hit on, and charities can benefit upwards of $1,500 to $2,000 depending on how many people come in. So it's a win for you all being able to profit a decent amount, and then a win for the charity also being able to profit a decent amount and have basically profit with also max impact as well. And then first of all, before we even go event dates, is I would love your feedback. So depending on the adjustments that we made, or if there's other improvements that you're like, oh, Kelsey, this would be better, would love first and foremost your feedback on it. We're continually trying to, yes, make it better for the athletes, but also mainly make it better for you all as well as a thank you with there. And then if that's fit and you're like, Kelsey, let's get rocking, I want to finalize this. We are trying to finalize all of our spring hosts by December 15th. And the reason being is we want to build everything out on our back end to be able to have a really strategic launch plan. And so our dates for 2026 are March and April. We have March 14th, 21st, and 28th, and then April 11th, 18th, and 25th. If there's a different date that you need, please just let us know. But those are pretty set in stone, and we'll be able to make it pretty effective for you all. So overall, just thank you. Let us know any feedback first and foremost. And then if you're like, Kelsey, yes, I want to give it a go, I will send you next steps and we can get that on the board, and we'll allow you to lock in your date first. I'm allowing all of our OGs to lock in the date, and then we're expanding that onto all of our new event hosts as well. So thank you for being with us. Would love feedback, and have an amazing rest of your week.